The alarm began early in the morning for you. Your mother and father had gathered around the television with you as a blaring tone ran out. The robot voice holds an ultimate authority now. Severe weather alert for eastern seaboard. This is a severe weather alert being broadcast at the request of National Weather Service. At approximately 0700 hours CST, an unusual tropical storm has located 900 miles from the east coast of the United States. The storm is unusual than it appears to be have made aid of a hurricane appendages and tissue had rapidly approaching inland with significant turbulence. All residents are advised to stay inside and barricade the doors and windows. If unable to evacuate within the next 4 hours, the storm speed is considered force, and damage inflicted by raining dog parts had already been reported as far as Maine, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. Do not approach the projectiles while they are still element. Do not attempt to chase down runaway pets. A little confused, your parents looked out the window, and you live in Chicago. And indeed, the turbulent rain began to pellet absolute. But what was it about dogs? What does that have to do with anything? Severe weather alert for Midwest inland and eastern seaboard. This is a continuous severe weather alert being broadcast at the request of the National Weather Service. At approximately 0740 hours CST, an irregular tropical storm breached inland, and in the eye of the storm, currently above Pennsylvania, and turbulence extended out as far as Chicago and South Carolina. Installation of all openings of doors and windows leading into your home is recommended. Citizens owning any domestic canines are urgently requested to leave them outside. Do not let them in. Ignore and all vocalizations, intelligible or otherwise. Your blood turns cold. Is this some kind of sick joke, is it? Someone must have hijacked the broadcast during the storm of all things. The nerve. You don't quite yet, but you stay outside as it darkened and turned the sky into a mushy shade of red. Somewhere down the street, a woman faintly shrieks. The rain gets heavier. Severe weather alert for all states. This is a continuous severe weather alert being broadcast at the request of the National Weather Service. This broadcast will continue all into severity, and obnoxious weather has ceased. Isolate all domestic canines. Do not let them in. Seal every crack leading to the outside. Ignore all vocalizations from outside until the storm is past. If possible, send your loved ones to lower the levels of your home. Do not leave your homes. Do not leave your homes. Do not leave your homes. Thick, heavy impacts can be heard from outside. Cautiously, your father goes to open the front door and window crack to see how bad the storm has become. And as he does, you watch in absolute horror as a grimsy red paw somehow worms its way underneath it. It's muddy and rain and viscera, and bone shines underneath the fur. The scratching and howling that accompanies the broadcast tone is unbearable and unimaginable. And that, my pretties, was an Anomalous Weather, a creepypasta written by William C. My final thoughts on this story? This one was actually a pretty good story involving, it starts off normally with the tropical storm Yorm, it's kind of like, the hurricanes that, especially if people, from down south in the US will probably know what I'm talking about. This was honestly a pretty good read. I honestly really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really great story. It definitely held lots of good vibes with this story. This story was excellent and amazing. I gotta say, this one was definitely a good, fun story. I personally enjoyed it. So, with that being said, and that being the case, I personally like this story. I thought it was pretty good for what it is. So, anyway, with that being said and that being the case, yeah, I personally thought this was a really interesting story. The fact about this canine thing or dog thing, I think it's probably have to do with some sort of, well, animal, beast, or whatever, or maybe some cryptid that is causing the storm. But I mean, the animal being there, it kind of makes me wonder why would an animal be involved with the storm? I mean, it literally just doesn't have, make any sense. That's kind of, even though it says on the weather, but why does that have to do with the weather? that kind of makes me wonder, why does that have to do with that? I really don't understand it or don't know. So, fortunately, that's going to be a question I'm not going to know. But at the same time, I really can't really say if that's the case or not. But with that being said, this story was definitely a pretty good one. I personally like the story, even though it was confusing with the animal part, with the dog part that walked in the house or whatever. I really have to say it's kind of confusing because it doesn't really make any sense as to why that's the case. But like I said, that's probably maybe just me, but at the same time, it's who is to say, really? But I mean, the grammar was really good. I'm not going to lie, the grammar was readable and stuff, and the sentence structure was flat out amazing. So I gotta really say, this one was definitely a good story. So, I guess with that being said, and that being the case, like I'm going to say before, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these stories, and this is just simply my own personal thoughts. I give this story a 10 out of 10. It's a great story, although with the animal dog part, that was added. I am quite confused about that, but at the same time, I'm not going to really question much because I don't really know. But at the same time, it's a really good story. I mean, William C., you did a really awesome job. Whoever you are, awesome job with this story. If you're out there, which is most likely the case, and you're probably out there, if you ever manage to stumble across this video, I want to give you props for making this story. So, pretty awesome. I really have to say it's a pretty good story and really good, well made. So, give you props to that. So, I can't really say if there's anything I did not like about this story. I really can't see anything. So, I will say right now, it's a good story. Now, anyways, with that being said and that being the case, if there's anything in the story you guys were not a fan of or whatever, please let me know in the comments below because I don't think there is anything I did not like about the story. I can't seem to find it, but if it does, I'll fact check at the comments section. So there's that. But anyways, with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what we have done personally to help make this story a lot better. Feel free to leave me now what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. Also, if you're interested in following my DeviantArt page, feel free to do so. If you have Twitter and you're interested in following me on Twitter, you are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter. If you guys have, Discord and would like to follow me on Discord, let me know. Also, if you guys want to sub to my backup channel called Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to do so if you haven't as well. So, as always, and I'm going to sit here and say right now, I'll see you guys all in the next video. And like always, please roll the outro because I'm out.